Your paycheck went up this year. Your boss might have even called it a raise. But somehow, you have less money than you did last year. Your groceries cost more. Your rent is higher. Your credit card balance keeps climbing. And yet, the news keeps telling you the economy is strong. So, what is actually happening? In the next 7 minutes, we're going to show you 3 forces, working at the same time, that are quietly draining the wealth of ordinary Americans. Not one of them is your fault, and almost none of your favorite news channels are connecting all 3 together. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why you feel poor, even when the numbers say you shouldn't. Let's start with the numbers most people never actually see together. Since 2020, the cost of living in America has risen by around 25%. In the same period, the average household income rose by about 27%. On paper, Americans are barely ahead. But here's what that average hides. Middle-income households saw paycheck gains of just 2.3%. while low-income households gained only 1.4%, well below the rate of inflation. So the average is being pulled up by the wealthy, the middle class and the working class. They are falling behind. 62% of employed Americans say their income hasn't kept up with household expenses. More than half of the country, working, still falling behind. And that's before we even get to the 3 forces making it worse. Force number 1, the debt trap. Americans' total credit card debt reached $1.277 trillion by the end of 2025, the highest level ever recorded since the Federal Reserve Bank of New York began tracking this data in 1999. That's not $1 trillion spread across millionaires. Over 111 million Americans, more than 40% of all adults, are currently carrying credit card debt, and the interest rate on that debt, the average APR on new credit cards, is now 23.75%. Think about that. You borrow $5,000 to survive a rough month. At 23% interest, if you only pay the minimum, you will still be paying that off in 18 years, and you'll have paid back nearly double what you borrowed. 27.5 million Americans, more than 1 in 9 cardholders, can now only afford to make the minimum payment each month. This isn't a spending problem. This is a survival problem. Force number 2, the silent job crisis. In just the first 7 months of 2025, over 806,000 private sector job cuts were announced, the highest number for that period since the pandemic year of 2020, and AI is now officially part of the reason. In 2025 alone, nearly 55,000 job cuts were directly attributed to AI by companies themselves, including Amazon cutting 14,000 corporate roles and Workday cutting 8.5% of its entire workforce. And it's not slowing down. Goldman Sachs research warns that 6 to 7% of American workers could be displaced during the AI transition period. And the big question is how fast it happens. A Stanford study found that early career workers aged 22 to 25 in AI-exposed jobs have already seen a 13% decline in employment compared to their peers in other fields. The youngest workers, the ones just starting out, are being hit first. Force number 3, the global squeeze. This is the one almost nobody connects to your grocery bill. When wars happen, when trade wars escalate, when global supply chains break, American consumers pay the price. The Trump administration imposed historically high tariffs, and economists warn this is pushing prices higher for everyday goods. Tariffs are essentially a hidden tax. Companies that import goods pass those extra costs directly to you at the checkout. And because America imports a massive amount of what it consumes, from electronics to clothing to food ingredients, the cost of nearly everything is now being shaped by decisions made in Washington and Beijing, not just your local store. Let's make this real. Say you're a 28-year-old working a decent job in a mid-sized American city. You make around $55,000 a year. 5 years ago, that salary could cover rent, food, a car payment, and still leave a little for savings. Today, rising expenses combined with limited income growth have led millions of consumers to rely on credit just to cover basic costs. Your rent has likely gone up 20 to 30% in 5 years. Your grocery bill is 25% higher. Your health insurance premium climbs every year without fail. And now you're hearing that the AI tools your company just bought might be doing parts of your job by next year. Among Americans who don't expect their finances to improve in 2026, 65% cited inflation as the main reason. They're not wrong. But inflation is just the symptom. The debt trap, the job disruption, and the global power shift, those are the disease. And here is the part that should make you angry. While the average American struggles to pay off a credit card at 23% interest, the stock market just hit record highs. Corporate profits are up. The wealthy are doing just fine. As one analyst put it, I think most people are generally doing okay, but it wouldn't take much for them to not be okay. So many Americans are one job loss, one income reduction, or one medical emergency away from real financial trouble. One emergency. That's the margin millions of Americans are living with. Here's the truth that nobody in power wants to say clearly. These three forces, debt, job disruption, and global instability, are not accidents. They are the natural outcome of a system that was built to grow wealth at the top and pass the costs down to everyone else. When inflation hits, the wealthy have assets, real estate, stocks, gold, that rise with inflation. Their wealth is protected. When AI cuts jobs, the companies that own the AI technology see their stock prices soar. Their shareholders profit. When tariffs raise prices, the biggest corporations negotiate exceptions and use them as cover to raise prices even more, while blaming global politics. Since 2006, the nominal average weekly wage in the U.S. rose by over 82%. But after adjusting for real inflation, the actual increase in purchasing power was only 12.7%. Across nearly 2 decades, 20 years of work, 12% of real gain. That is the quiet story of American wealth, and why so many people who work hard, do everything right, and follow the rules still feel like they're running in place. So, what do you do with this? We're not here to tell you everything is hopeless. Understanding the system is the first step to not being a victim of it. Here are 3 things you can do right now. Number 1, stop treating credit card debt as normal. Nearly half of Americans who carry credit card debt expect it to increase in 2026. That is the trap talking. Even paying an extra $50 a month above your minimum can save you years of payments and thousands in interest. Treat high-interest debt like an emergency. Number 2, watch which skills are safe from AI. Not all jobs are equally at risk. Trades, electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians are extremely hard for AI to replace. Goldman Sachs projects that 500,000 net new jobs in skilled trades will need to be filled by 2030 just to support AI infrastructure alone. The future isn't just coding. It's also building the physical world that AI needs to run. Number 3, understand that your cost of living is geopolitical. Every trade deal, every conflict, every tariff decision directly affects the price of your groceries, your gas, and your rent. The more informed you are about global events, the better your personal financial decisions will be, which is exactly why this channel exists. The system is complicated, but it's not impossible to understand. Every week on this channel, we break down how geopolitics, finance, and technology are quietly reshaping the lives of ordinary Americans in language that actually makes sense. If this video opened your eyes even a little, subscribe right now, because the next video is going to hit even harder. We're going to show you how the AI arms race between America and China is already affecting which jobs exist in this country and what's coming in the next 3 years. You don't want to miss it. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment below telling us, do you feel like you're getting ahead or falling behind? We read every single one. And while you're here, check out our last video on how big tech is secretly shaping what you see, what you think, and what you buy. The link is right there on your screen. See you in the next one.